Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India observes one-day national mourning for Qatar's father, Amir, Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani. Prime Minister Narendra Modi extends condolences, describes him a true friend of India. US military launches fresh round of strikes on Iran as standoff over Hormuz escalates. Oil surges by more than 4%. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to launch India's official campaign for the UN Security Council tenure 2028-29. In Thailand, at least 27 people killed in a massive fire at a nightclub in Bangkok. Over 60 injured, 22 in critical condition. Cause of the fire still under investigation. And in sports, Jannik Sinner defends his Wimbledon title after defeating Germany's Alexander Zverev. The victory marks Sinner's 100th Grand Slam match win. India has declared a one-day national mourning on Monday as mark of respect for Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, father of Amir of the state of Qatar, who passed away on Sunday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on social media expressed condolences, describing Sheikh Hamad as a visionary leader who guided Qatar's development and prosperity and called him a true friend of India. The national flag is flown at half-mast across the country on all buildings where it is displayed regularly, and no official entertainment will be held during the mourning period. Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Minority Affairs Kiran Rijiju is expected to visit Qatar soon to convey condolences on behalf of the Government of India. Qatar held a funeral on Sunday in Doha of former Emir Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani, who died at the age of 74. Qatar's top government body, the Amir Diwan, announced the demise of Sheikh Hamad. Sheikh Hamad's funeral ceremony was held after the daily evening prayer at sunset at the Imam Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab Mosque in the capital. Afterwards, close family members, including his son and successor as Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, carried his mortal remains out of the mosque. Sheikh Hamad was laid to rest at the Luzail Cemetery in north of Doha. And now we take a look at the political journey of the leader who reshaped Qatar's future and left a lasting impact on the region and the world. Sheikh Hamad bin Khalifa Al Thani ruled Qatar from 1995 to 2013. During his 18-year rule, he transformed the country from a small Gulf emirate into one of the world's wealthiest and most influential nations. Under his leadership, Qatar capitalized on its vast natural gas reserves to become one of the world's leading exporters of liquefied natural gas. The country's rapid economic growth also made it one of the richest nations in terms of GDP per capita. His tenure also saw Qatar win the hosting rights for the 2022 FIFA World Cup, while the country expanded its diplomatic footprint and increased its roles in regional affairs, including humanitarian assistance to Gaza. In 2013, Sheikh Hamad made history by voluntarily handing over power to his son, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, marking one of the rare peaceful successions in the modern Arab world. Following his passing, Qatar declared a period of national mourning, with condolences pouring in from leaders across the world, reflecting Sheikh Hamad's enduring influence on regional politics and global affairs. Let's get to updates on the US-Iran war now. Iran began attacking US military bases in Bahrain, Kuwait and Jordan, claiming them to be second round of retaliation for US's renewed bombardment of its southern coast. The US attacks on Iran come amidst an intensifying standoff over the Strait of Hormuz, with explosions reported in port cities of Bandar Abbas, Sirik and Jask as well as Kashmir Island. The exchange of fire come a day after the US military said it hit at least 140 targets in Iran, and Tehran launched retaliatory attacks on Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar and Jordan. The escalating attacks, which cast doubt over the future of the interim US-Iran agreement signed in June, come amid conflicting claims over whether the Strait of Hormuz is open. Iran says it has closed the key waterway until further notice, while the US insists that it is open. Meanwhile, the number of vessels transiting the Strait of Hormuz fell to multi-week lows on Sunday. According to the ship tracking data, 6 vessels transited the strait on Sunday, the lowest number in 5 weeks. Oil prices surged on Monday after the United States launched a series of attacks on Iran, and Tehran announced plans to close the Strait of Hormuz. International benchmark Brent crude for September delivery jumped 4.1% to $79.11 a barrel. US benchmark West Texas Intermediate for August delivery also rose sharply, climbing 3.65% to $74.02 per barrel. In other news, in Thailand, a massive fire at a nightclub in Bangkok killed at least 27 people and injured dozens on Sunday night in one of the deadliest such incidents in the tourism hub in recent years. Emergency services were pictured at the scene, surrounding rows of bodies in body bags. Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, who visited the scene, said survivors reported that the club quickly filled with smoke after the fire broke out. He added many patrons fled to the back of the venue near the bathrooms, but there were no fire escapes available. Officials said 63 people were injured in the Bangkok pub fire, with 22 in critical condition. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Fire disasters in entertainment venues show how quickly ordinary gatherings can turn into tragedies. Let's take a look at global club and bar fire tragedies. In 2022, in Thailand, a fire broke out in a bar in a town south of Bangkok, killing 22 people. In 2015, Romania's collective club fire killed 64 people and injured nearly 150 after pyrotechnics ignited flammable foam. In 2013, Brazil's Kiss nightclub fire killed 242 people after pyrotechnics ignited foam, releasing toxic smoke in a crowded club. In 2009, a Bangkok nightclub fire killed 66 people and injured over 200 during New Year celebrations. In 2009, Russia's Lame Horse nightclub fire killed 156 people after indoor fireworks ignited decorations, causing toxic smoke and panic. In 2008, China's Wuhan KTV fire killed 15 people and injured 3 after a blaze during renovation patrons and staff. In 2004, Argentina's República Cramanon fire killed over 190 people and injured 1,400 after a flare ignited the club's ceiling foam. In 2003, USA's Station nightclub fire killed 100 and injured 230 after pyrotechnics ignited flammable foam. Cuba's national electricity grid was restored on Sunday after another nationwide blackout, the second in less than a week that left millions without power. The national utility said the grid was fully reconnected after engineers worked for more than 24 hours to restart the system. Authorities added the restoration process was complicated by fuel shortages and ongoing energy challenges. In Havana, more than 65% of households had electricity restored overnight, while officials continued efforts to stabilize power supplies across the country. The blackout marked the 4th nationwide power failure in less than 6 months. The government has blamed external restrictions, including US sanctions, for worsening the island's energy difficulties. And up next, we take a look at the events related to Cuba's crisis and tensions with the United States. On 11th of January, Trump announced measures to stop Venezuelan oil shipments to Cuba. Mexico halted oil shipments to Cuba amid US tariff threats on 9th of February. On February 19th, Havana faced severe energy shortages. On 31st of March, Russian tanker delivered about 700,000 barrels of oil. On May 13th, Havana saw major protests over severe blackouts and fuel shortages. On 14th of May, CIA Director John Ratcliffe met Cuban officials. On May 20th, Rubio proposed a new US-Cuba relationship and offered $100 million in aid. On June 4th, US imposed sanctions on Diaz-Canel and Cuban officials. Relations remain strained as sanctions expanded since June. The official death toll from Venezuela's devastating twin earthquakes rose to nearly 4,500 on Sunday as the government reported more than 19,500 people were now living in camps due to the destruction. The latest toll offered by the government on its official Telegram account listed 4,490 as dead and 16,740 as injured. On June 24th, 7.2 magnitude and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes hit Caracas and the coastal state of La Guaira, flattening entire high-rise apartment blocks into layers of rubble. Meanwhile, volunteers, relatives of the missing and rescue workers are battling dust, flies and a heavy stench in the quake-hit area more than 2 weeks after deadly earthquakes. Dozens of people continue to stand by the rubble, hoping to find the bodies of their loved ones, refusing to leave until they find the missing. Conditions in the area are becoming increasingly difficult. Rescuers are working in high temperatures amongst piles of debris and pollution caused by the destruction of buildings and also infrastructure. And also there is the smell of rotting bodies still buried under the rubble. The work continues around the clock, although risks are increasing due to instability of some structures and the sanitary conditions in the area. The number of confirmed Ebola cases in Congo rose to 1,873, including 672 deaths on Sunday. Horticulture and Shopo provinces have reported cases for the first time. Investigations indicate that the cases detected in the two provinces were epidemiologically linked to the outbreak epicenter in Ituri province through contacts and population movement. The report said 763 patients were in isolation or receiving hospital treatment, while the overall bed occupancy rate at treatment facilities stood at 95.1%. A total of 306 people have recovered, while 299 suspected cases, including 91 deaths, have been recorded. The outbreak caused by Bandi Bagyo Ebola virus was declared on May 15th. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break. Stay with us.
Welcome to DD India, where a billion voices unite, connecting viewers to the stories that matter. India is not just another news channel. It's the international channel that puts the spotlight on the global south, bringing you stories from the heart of emerging economies, dynamic cultures and transformative voices. As the international news channel of India's public broadcaster Prasar Bharati, DD India delivers high-quality content from every corner of the globe, focusing on the stories that shape our future. We don't just report news. We connect you to India's voice in the global narrative. From current affairs to culture, from economic growth to sustainable development and the ever-evolving world order, DD India gives you a comprehensive view of the world around us. Stay connected, stay informed, and embrace the stories that shape our lives. DD India, India's voice to the world.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. Let's get to other updates. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will unveil India's official campaign for the United Nations Security Council tenure 2028-29. The minister is visiting the UN headquarters in New York on Monday, during which he will also meet Secretary General Antonio Guterres at the world body's headquarters. Elections for the 2028-29 term will be conducted in June next year, when India and Tajikistan will compete for the sole seat in the Asia-Pacific Group category. The UNSC elections will come amid significant geopolitical shifts as the world continues to grapple with challenges such as the Ukraine conflict, Gaza conflict and the US-Israel war against Iran. In its message for its UNSC candidature, India has highlighted #India for UNSC 2028-29 Peace, Planet, Progress. India-UK free trade agreement will come into effect on July 15th. Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal has said that the FTA will give all Indian exports duty-free access to the British market and offer social security relief to eligible Indian professionals working in the UK.
प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में भारत ने विकसित देशों के साथ जो फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट्स साइन किए हैं उससे अपार संभावनाएं भारत के उद्योग जगत के लिए, भारत के किसानों के लिए, भारत के मछुआरों के लिए, एमएसएमई सेक्टर के लिए एक्सपोर्ट की अपार संभावनाएं बढ़ती हैं, नए रोजगार का संभावनाएं बढ़ती हैं और अभी 15 तारीख से यूके का फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट लागू हो जाएगा। सब कुछ भारत से शून्य ड्यूटी पर जाएगा। मैं आने वाले हफ्ते में 4 देशों की यात्रा पे निकल रहा हूं जहां हम भारत की डेलीगेशन, बिजनेस डेलीगेशन लेके जा रहे हैं।
India-UK FTA was signed on July 24th this last year during Prime Minister Modi's visit to London. The agreement aims to double bilateral trade to $120 billion by 2030 by eliminating tariffs on 90% to 99% of goods and liberalizing key services sectors, making it India's most comprehensive trade pact with the G7 nation. Meanwhile, Piyush Goyal will lead a high-level Indian business delegation to Spain, Belgium and Finland from Monday. The visit aims to strengthen India's economic partnerships with Europe with focus on trade, investment, technology, innovation and sustainability. In the first leg of his tour, the minister will visit Spain, where he will participate in a business roundtable with the Chamber of Commerce of Spain and Spain Trade and Investment. The session will bring together Spanish and Indian industry leaders to explore opportunities in automotive, renewable energy, railways, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, food processing and tourism. The minister will then visit Belgium on the 14th and 15th of this month. He will hold meetings with leadership of Thales Group and Silox Group. The program includes participation in the India-EU Business Roundtable and the Trade and Technology Council plenary, where discussions will center on foreign investment, trade facilitation, sustainable technologies and resilient supply chains. Thereafter, Minister Goyal will visit Finland on the 16th and 17th of this month. He will attend the India-Finland Business Roundtable. The minister will visit leading Finnish companies and research institutions to explore collaboration in telecommunications, advanced manufacturing, clean energy, mobility and innovation. A 116-year-old mango tree in Dehradun is bearing 42 varieties of mangoes through grafting, turning one tree into a flavor-filled orchard. Now, horticulture experts aim to grow 100 mango varieties on a single tree.
Fond of mangoes of every shape and variety? Then a single tree in Dehradun could be the perfect answer. At first glance, this 116-year-old giant in Dehradun's historic Circuit House State Park looks like any other mango tree. But a closer look reveals varieties like Chausa and Langra growing on the same canopy. Of the over 50 mango varieties grafted onto this tree by a senior horticulture officer, 42 have been successfully bearing fruit over the past few seasons.
This garden is from 1910. One of the trees here that we experimented on is around 116 years old. On every branch of this tree, we have grafted nearly 42 different varieties of mangoes. After about 2 years, all the varieties that we had grafted started bearing fruit.
It is a perfect example of what grafting can achieve, especially in areas where land is limited.
We
join two parts together like this. After that, we wrap the grafting tape around the joint and cover it completely from here to here so that no air can enter. It usually takes about 1 to 1.5 months for the graft to be ready. After grafting, you can cover it with a polybag or plastic container. At the same time, you should ensure it receives adequate moisture from all sides and continue watering it regularly. Once the graft has been successfully taken, you can remove the cover and transplant or shift the plant to another location.
उसको दूसरी जगह आप शिफ्ट कर सकते हो।
The garden now aims to reach a new milestone, growing 100 mango varieties on a single tree, including rare varieties offering a range of sweetness and flavors to suit every palate.
Let's get you sports updates now. Jannik Sinner has successfully defended his Wimbledon title after defeating French Open champion Alexander Zverev in a thrilling 4-set final. The world number one fought back after losing the opening set to beat Zverev 6-7, 7-6, 6-3, 6-4 in the grueling 3-hour and 48-minute battle on centre court. Sinner produced a dominant performance, hitting 58 winners and saving the only break point he faced during the match. The victory marks Sinner's 5th Grand Slam title and his 2nd consecutive Wimbledon crown. He also recorded his 100th match win at tennis's 4 major tournaments. Zverev, who was chasing his first Wimbledon title and aiming to become the first German men's champion since 1991, pushed Sinner throughout but failed to end his 10-match losing streak against Sinner. The FIFA World Cup has reached its business end with only 4 teams left in the race for football's biggest prize. Attention now turns to Arlington, Texas, where France and Spain will face off in a high-stakes semi-final for a place in the final. The excitement is building across the city as fans arrive and preparations gather pace ahead of the big semi-final. Sheikh gets us this report from Dallas, Texas.
The World Cup is down to its final 4 and Arlington is getting ready for one of the biggest nights of the tournament. Around the city, the buzz is picking up as fans start pouring in ahead of the much-anticipated France-Spain semi-final.
The excitement across Arlington is understandable. After all, this city will host one of the most talked about matches of the tournament, semi-final 1 between France versus Spain. And the heart of it all is AT&T Stadium, which is right behind me, which is all set to host the most coveted match of the tournament.
AT&T Stadium, one of the largest covered stadiums in the world with a capacity of more than 80,000, is all set to host this blockbuster semi-final. The venue has staged several memorable sporting events over the years and now is ready for another big occasion. For France and Spain, the equation is simple. One more win takes the team to the World Cup final. 90 minutes or perhaps even more will decide who stays in the title race.
I'm very excited. I'm right here from Arlington, Texas, and I've been working the World Cup, so it's been a really amazing experience getting to meet different people. I'm excited for France to play.
I hope that France is going to be the winner. I love France because I think Mbappé is one of the best players, and I hope France is going to be the winner.
France as well. I think they've played extremely well, Mbappe, and also I hope he gets the Golden Boot award for most goals scored in the tournament. So, yes.
The countdown is well underway and Arlington is ready to welcome thousands of football fans for what promises to be a memorable fight. The city is now waiting for the action to begin and for the first finalist of the FIFA World Cup to be decided.
The stage is set for what promises to be a major and memorable World Cup semi-final. As France and Spain inch closer to their date with destiny, DD India will get you all the action and moments from ground zero in Arlington. With cameraman Shubham Sharma, this is Abhishek Mahajan in Dallas, Texas for DD India.
From soccer to cricket now at the historic Lord's Cricket Ground, the Indian women's cricket team stands on the brink of registering its first ever historic test victory. On the 3rd day of the match, India completely dominated England in every department of the game. Powered by star batter Yastika Bhatia's record-breaking maiden test century and an outstanding performance from the bowlers, India set England a daunting target of 457 runs. In reply, by stumps on day 3, the Indian bowlers had reduced England to 130 for 6 in their second innings. Harmanpreet Kaur's side is now just 4 wickets away from scripting history at the home of cricket. Yastika Bhatia played a magnificent innings of 113 runs and became the first woman cricketer to score a test century at Lord's. In England's second innings, Sayali Sadghare, Kranti Gaur and Sneh Rana claimed 2 wickets each. That's it in this edition of DD India Live. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.